All right. Are we ready to play the game?
Think so.
All right.
Oh, shoes on.
So you all live in the small town of Baloth. It sits in the middle of the forest on the continent of Lagrion. A random, unnamed forest that no one really cares about, that just isn't important to anyone's eyes. It's a small-ish town. There's probably about 100 people in it. And it is majority human. Maybe there's the occasional elf, maybe there's the occasional dwarf, but most of the people are humans, and anyone that's not doesn't stay very long. Not out of any prejudice towards any other races. It's just that this town is built for humans because it was built by humans, and they don't really provide any of the necessary resources for the other races beyond what that might be. Um, some notable people in the town are the mayor, Marcus Norvin. He's known to be, quite a popular fellow. People like him because he has brought a good bit of economic boost to the town, as much as a small backwater town can gain an economic boost. Uh, all of you would most likely know a woman named Elia Krenis. She's a barmaid, and the reason most of you know it is because she sought you out to know you. She is very prideful in her sense of knowing things and keeping up with everything. Uh, you kind of everyone gets their news from her, and she usually knows what's going on at every moment. Another person is Zenith Morgrove. He's an old, forgotten adventurer, and kind of moved to this town, very much ratchety. Kind of says random crazy things every once in a while, but he's nice. As far as you all know, you don't really tend to uh, in, take on his tales, as they say. He has many stories and these wild fantasies of him going and slaying monsters and traveling, but that's not really the stories for you. Hmm. And then uh, Morris Krenov, sorry, Morris Krenos, uh, the husband of Elia. He's cheery and loud and a bubbly man. And he's known for making a wide variety of alcohols and concoctions and mixing things. You all have lived in this town, your entire lives. You lived mundane lives, whether that be to your excitement or to your detriment. Um, as if you were born here, you're most likely going to die here. Not because you can't leave, but because life is simple. And when life is simple, there's not really any chance to explore and leave. One thing all of you do have in common, though, is because it's such a small town, you all kind of know each other. Maybe it's the passing hello, maybe it's a deeper connection. I will leave that up to the three of you. But as for right now, we will start with Anthony.
Oh,
Can you tell
hello.
me your character's name and what you do for a living?
I'm gonna do this in his voice, so get a feel for it. Names. Wait. Name's Fritz Eberhard. I am the town's second most successful innkeep. I run what's known as the Yellow Peonies Inn, after the flower, of course. Um, do you want me to say anything more than that? Anything on my dreams or anything? On my fears?
That is for
Nope.
me to know.
All right, that's
So
all.
Fritz, today's been a particularly slow day for you. While you live in a town and you work as in an inn in a town where not many people come and even less people go, uh, since it's been such a kind of worn down, just boring, dreary day, it's been raining. It's kind of like that that feeling in the air when it's not the end of the rain, but you're getting there, and it's kind of just Everything is damp. It's very gray out. You're very like it's chilly. It's just kind of sad in a way. Um, as you are sitting out on your porch, you remember that later tomorrow or later this week, apologies. Um, the town is having some sort of market day. It's not anything crazy. It's just kind of a time to get everyone together, kind of in the square of town, and sell goods. That's the intention. This was brought on as an idea by the mayor, Marcus Norvin. He's only been here for a year or two at this point, but he's decently well liked. But the people in town use this more as a day to interact and go and just spend time. There is obviously still buying and selling, as usually people will come out and uh, bring things for cheaper, or just kind of get to know other people, make connections. You're sitting on the deck of your inn. You're kind of looking out, and it's covered. Uh, well, you didn't have much money to buy the building. You definitely have spent time over the time you've had it to make repairs and make it look nice. As you're sitting on this porch, you're looking out into the road, and there are many children in this town. Um, but today they seem to be out playing with a small ball made out of reeds that they got down by the lake. This ball, they're kicking it around and singing and dancing, and it's strange because while the kids do play, and they have special dances and songs that they learn in the small school here and brought on by the teachers. This isn't one that you've heard before. This song that they're singing, while they're singing it joyfully, the more you listen to these lyrics, it seems almost the song is as cold as the winter or the rain that surrounds you. They sing of this long and crooked road with houses laden with broken chimneys. The song goes farther into a castle at the end of it, where the queen rests and waits for someone to come and bring her the joy that she so seeks. And they keep singing it over and over again, and they get more happy as they sing. It's almost this feeling of walking down the road itself as the song goes on. And right as you're starting to almost like feel the lyrics with these kids. You're kind of singing like the queen is sad
Tapping
and
my foot.
lonely. Yeah, right. You're getting along to it. It's like you're listening to a song for the first time, and the chorus it's the third time it's played. So then you start trying to sing the lyrics, and as you start, they get farther and farther away as they run down the road playing this game, and you can't hear them anymore. And the moment you can't hear them, it's not that you forget the song. It's that the song just doesn't become important anymore. Your mind is laid on other things. Uh,
Hmm.
the leak that is in one of the rooms that you have to deal with. You have a pan in there that's collecting the water so that you don't damage the floor. Your ledger that you left inside. You're wondering how much money I made today. Did I make my quota? What can I do to figure that out if I don't? Maybe go on a flash sale. There's just these thoughts that are running through your head, and it just kind of drifts away, but it's still there, sitting in the back of your mind. And as you're sitting there, you're contemplating what it means to be this innkeeper, to be a businessman. What do you truly desire? What do you want? What are you afraid of? And it all vanishes in the next moment. And you're sitting on your porch, and the rain has stopped. And you realize you've been out here for quite a while, and that it's probably time to get back for work. Next up, Zeke. May you introduce your character?
Uh, okay. Let's see here. I don't have a voice. the
It's
other
fine.
side of it. Let's see here. So just my name and my job.
Yeah, your name and your job. If you want to give like, I guess I didn't really give this to uh Anthony, but if you want to like, I don't know. Honestly, yeah, just your name and your job for now.
Okay. Um, my name is uh Edward James Pontegold, and I am the town librarian slash historian. I have a little couple books of records that I have of pieced together knowledge of the town and some history books from previous historians. And I have a small library that, while not many people visit, I keep stocked well with books from either people traveling in or ones that I have gone out and to other towns nearby and purchased or have ordered from people who are regulars traveling through the town. And the people who come by, I know them well, but just really what kind of books they like to read.
Edward, you are actually leaving the school currently. You had just dropped off a shipment of books from your library. While it is small, you still have enough to bring to people and let them rent out. The school is usually your biggest taker, as they take uh, kind of bundles of books at a time to have children read or just spend time in thought in the literature that you have for them. You had just finished a delivery of a couple history books. Um, you actually ended up sneaking in one that you yourself wrote, though it is only about the area and the town from other sources and books that you've read and people that you've talked to. It's more of a take on modern history than it is anything else. Um, you just finished dropping this bunch off. You're walking through the roads and it's raining a little bit, but the rain is nothing that will kill you. Your clothes, while nice, aren't good enough to worry about getting damp. Um, as you are walking down this road, you get this sense of vertigo. Um, Not enough to make you fall over, but it's enough to stop you in your tracks. As you get this sense of uncomfortability, as you kind of like peter over to the side and then catch yourself, you hear these small steps of boy walking up to you. He goes, "Excuse me, Mister. Uh, Mr. Conagold, correct?" And before you turn around, you could almost hear while he came closer to you. It's almost as if another group drifted away, almost as if a large group came towards you and only one stopped to say hello. You turn around and you see a small boy and you recognize him. His name is Leo. He he's the son. Excuse me. He's the son of the bread maker in town. Uh, a new arrival, really. And he didn't bring the bread with him. He kind of took over the store. He was friends of the person that run it before, but they had business outside of the city, which is strange, or outside of the town, which is strange because, like I said, not many people come, and even less leave. The boy looks up to you and he goes, "Did you just bring us a new bundle of books?
I did.
What were all of them about?"
Your school wanted some history books, so I brought a couple of the history of Allegrion, and I think there may be one in there about our town's history, if you find the time to read it.
Whoa, that's interesting. Maybe I will. That does sound like fun. I'm not terribly into history, but the town is interesting to me, especially since I just recently moved here. Um, Uh, I just noticed you walking by, and I wanted to say thank you. It's very nice of you to be willing to bring these books over. I do enjoy reading. My mom used to read to me a lot when I was younger, but she doesn't have much time for that anymore. Did I did have a question?
Of
Um,
course.
you're smart, right?
I would like to think so.
Well, I was out playing in the woods earlier today. Um, before I was playing with all my friends, and he kind of like stops for a second and looks a little confused. Um, I wonder where they went. And he kind of like looks around and looks back to you. Uh, but uh, and I told my parents about this, and they didn't believe me. But I figured since you're so smart, maybe you can look into it yourself. But uh, I was walking out by the edge of the town, and you would know that the edge of the town is probably about uh, not terribly far, maybe like 100 feet from the edge of the forest. It's kind of like this big clearing that the town is in. I was walking on the edge of town, and I was measuring the distance from the town to the closest tree because I was wondering how fast I could run across it. And as any good, as any good mathematician, this is a big word that my dad taught me the other day. Knows you measure things in feet, and he kind of lifts his foot up and points at it, and for context, this would be like a size 6. Um, in kids, he has pretty
Hmm.
small feet. You measure things in feet, so I was measuring, and normally, because I needed to, keep track of it. Normally, uh, the distance is uh, from the trees to the edge of town, or more specifically, the bakery where I live, is 224 steps. But today, I don't know why, it was 218 steps. And I counted it. I counted it over and over again. And I try to count it at least once a week because you never know what kind of crazy creatures are out there in the forest. And I got to make sure I can run across the field to fight the monsters if they try to come in. I got to know exactly how long.
Hmm.
But I thought it was strange, so I brought it to my family. I told them it's shorter, and they said, What's shorter?" And I said, "The distance to the tree line. The trees, the forest is closer." And I went out and I started showing them, and they ignored me. And they went, "Oh, it's time to make bread. I can't be dealing with this. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Boring parent things. You're not a boring parent, are you?"
No, I'm not.
Well, of course you're not. You're smart. Well, my dad's smart. He's also strong, and my mom's smart too. But maybe you're smarter. You you read books all day, so I would assume. Um, but yeah, so that's maybe you could check that out since you're smart. Maybe you know
I'll
what's happening.
definitely.
Anyway, it was nice talking to you. I'm gonna go find my friends, and he kind of
All
like
right.
looks around again, and he starts to run off. As you stand there watching him run off, you get the sense of vertigo again. It's not as strong, but it's still there. You feel it almost pulling you to the ground, though you're able to fight it. You kind of look, and he's still there. He's still running, um, but he's running now with a small ball of reeds in his hand, and he drops it to the ground and starts kicking it. And you can't hear what he's saying fully, but you do hear as he runs off is talk about a crooked road and how the queen is lonely again.
Hmm.
Elijah, my friend, shall we
Hello.
do your introduction?
Yes. All right. I'm gonna kind of figure out my voice as I go here. So
Yeah, you're good.
I am Glane Windbreeze. I'm a glass blower for the town. I work under my father. We spend most of our days either making windows or glass decorations. Um, I take pride in my work, but I know it's not for me for my whole life. So I'm looking forward to whatever is coming next. As hard as that is in this town.
Today, Blaine, you are working on just a personal piece. Nothing too special, as you don't really have the money for too much extra glass, but something that kind of has a bit of sentimental value to you. It's a just a small cup, but it's painted with some of your favorite children's stories or images from them, or at least it will be once you get done, glass blowing. Uh, and as you're mixing, as you're finishing this, at least step in the process, you're reminded of a story, and more of a legend, one not to scare children, but one to entice imagination and the sense of mystery, magic, and whimsicality. You're reminded of the story of the Borogrove tree. It's this tree that sits outside of town, a little ways into the forest, that is known for being this being of old. It's once a thriving tree, although no one has ever seen it like that. It now sits outside of town, damaged by time and rot. However, there is a strange amount of life still seeping from it. Bugs and small rodents call it their home, as well as moss and fresh plant life. While its life cycle is over, the stories of it are still bursting with life. Legend tells that if you peer long enough into the hole in the top, another world shows itself to you. A common story told by children and fools, but who knows? Wonderful things have happened in this land before. You're reminded of this tree as your shop sits kind of on the outskirts of town as well. Uh, and you look into the forest. Your shop is open as you deal with a lot of heat and fumes that go through your work area. So you have to keep it well ventilated, and the best way to keep it well ventilated is to keep it open. You're looking into this forest, and it's dark. Rain is coming down, and while the world seems so gray when it rains, deep in the forest, you almost feel this sense of color, magic, things that you could never even dream to have, even though you wish, maybe not magic, maybe not a sword, but power. You wish to be something, be someone, bring about your own story, not hear about it in the tales of those past. The stories that you have heard are all fiction, tales of grand adventures that have no possibility of being true. And while you sit here, molding this glass in your hand, like you will mold the fate of yourself and your future, you're reminded of what you desire. You're reminded of the reach that you wish to take, to leave what you have and go take the world, take it by storm. And it's almost as if it's drawing you in, pulling you towards it. This is the way to go. This right now. is something that you've been waiting for. And just as you almost put down your tools to go and seek out what is calling you, you hear the humming of a tune and the kicking of feet and the bouncing of a reed ball. This group of children run past you towards the edge of the forest, singing a crooked road and a sad queen who waits for someone to go bring her from the life of the mundane. It sounds interesting. While it's only a children's song, it separates itself from the stories that you've been told by your family, your friends, and your parents, whoever. And the only thing that you can make sense of in the separation and how it's different is one word: reality. Deep in your soul, your core, the entirety of your being, you recognize that this isn't fiction. This isn't the story of the great old king who rode dragons and slayed evil monsters and saved people. This isn't the story of the prince who went and fell from his tower and got back up and proceeded to be one of the greatest men to ever live. This isn't a story like that. Those are wastes of time. This is true. This is a reality. And the feeling that gripped you before you were ripped out of it grips you again. It pulls you back in harder this time as you nearly drop your tools in front of you. But in that moment, you see these children playing with this ball disappear into the trees. And the song is ripped from your mind. The children are gone, and this feeling you have no longer resides within you. You're left grasping the straws of what you thought was finally the moment that you've been waiting for. And you're reminded you're pulled back into reality. Reality isn't out there, it's right here in this cup that you're making. And reality is sadly fiction because all you're doing is putting a cup and putting stories onto said cup. The feelings you're left with may be anger, maybe sadness, maybe contempt. Who knows? But you finish this piece, this puzzle that is making this cup. And as you do, you look up and you recognize it stops raining. And it's stopped raining for a while. You put your tools down, you put your things away. And you look out into the forest. And you're reminded of your reality. These are our characters for this story, for the time. The group may grow, the group may shrink, but this is who we're going to be following. These mundane men, people of this world that stories aren't written about, that by account of heroes don't matter. That those in the background, at least for now. That's the story we're going to be telling here. Night falls for all three of you. Oh. you're all back in your homes or your workplaces, or your homes that happen to double as your workplaces. It's about 7 o'clock. Dinner's over. It's time to wind down. Fritz, what are you doing currently?
Well, I'd say at a time like this, the business is. Well, I'm probably not taking in any more recipients, so I'm probably going over my ledger for the day, making sure that everything's right, double checking. I probably already did it once or twice today, maybe even 3 times, but it never hurts to double check, quadruple check, go even further. I have to make sure that everything's perfect if I want to run a successful business, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm looking over this ledger and rereading it over and over again. This little pocket, little notebook full of recipients who have entered my inn, who have left my inn, full of the money and the accounts made. I'm laying on my bed with a nice little oil lamp on right next to me, with my head on my pillow, laying up to the ceiling, with my ledger right above me, recounting over everything with a small pen in my hand as I'm just kind of like pointing at anything. I'm not even really writing on it. I probably already did everything, like any edits that I've needed to do to it today. So I'm just kind of going over everything with the pen.
You're sitting, you're doing your work, and this is kind of the average for you. Um, this is, you know, what you seek to do. You're doing it well, and you continue to want to do it. A knock at your door. A little late, but maybe someone's here to get a room for the night.
And I'm never truly closed, by all means. If I have a room open, we're open. So I quickly tie my hair up into my low-hanging ponytail. I put on my little monocle. It probably falls off once or twice, and I get it to hang on my nose as I tidy up my apron, and I rush out to the front, and I open up the door for my recipient tonight.
Standing in front of you is a taller man. Um, Kind of a stocky build, but a long beard, and he kind of looks at you. I'm sorry. I am. He seems distraught. I've been wandering around. It's quite wet and cold. May I come inside? I apologize.
Sir, what are you sorry about? This is an inn, son. Get on in here. We always have room for fellow travelers like yourself.
Well, I'm not particularly a traveler. As he steps inside, the fire illuminates him, and you recognize this is the baker. Uh, you see him in passing, um, but definitely
He's
not a
new to
traveler.
he's new to town, right? Isn't he?
Probably about a year.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I kind of readjust my monocle to make sure I'm seeing things right. It is dark. Oh, so sorry. I hadn't noticed you. All this, you know, cloudy skies with the night sky never pairs quite well. No, please come on in. What's going on? Is everything all right down? I'm certain you have a home somewhere in town.
Yes, I do. Well, I'm coming to you and wondering if you've seen my son.
Uh,
He
oh,
he hasn't shown up back at the house today. I was spending time with him this morning, or we had a conversation. Um, he said something about the forest. I don't remember. It was nonsense. Uh, but he left to go spend time with his friends. And he hasn't been back. He's supposed to be back before dinner, and he knows that. And I've been looking for him ever since, which is why I apologize, as I am a bit damp just from my shoes are muddy, walking throughout the streets.
oh, you have nothing to be sorry for, sir. If it's a child that's missing, I mean, I could certainly draft up some parchment, and I can ask some of my customers here. I'm certain I have some people in in the rooms that might be awake right now. I could ask if anybody's seen. I saw some children a little earlier today. I'm not certain.
As you bring up,
Would yeah? Oh God.
as you bring up the children, you're reminded of that ball. And the ball reminds you of the song. And you're lost in thought for a minute as you're speaking and it almost trails off. And then you look back at the man as you see just worry in his eyes. And it snaps you out of it. It's almost as if you were momentarily in a trance. You may continue.
Oh, so sorry. Oh, what was I talking about again? I seem to have lost my thoughts. Your son. I'm sorry. It's been a long night. Not really, but um, yeah. I could ask some of my customers, recipients, if I have anybody here. If you just give me a moment.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, and don't let me hold you up. All right, I could come. I could come find you if you need me to. I don't want to stop your search. Not here, of course.
I would appreciate it. We'll be heading towards the bar or the tavern in town. Maybe
Yes.
maybe people know who's there. Her name is uh, Elia, was it not? She seems to know most things.
Yes, of course, of course. The Elia is quite knowledgeable. I get most of my town rumors from her. So sorry, this is no time to jest. I will go and talk to my recipients, and I will see you at the bar, sir. All right. Stay safe out there, okay?
Yes, I appreciate it.
Of course. And what was your name again? I know everybody here, but I know that you've only gotten here as of this year. I haven't got you on my ledger quite yet.
Yes, my name is Nolan Vole.
Oh, and I write it. I pull out my ledger and I write it down in the back where I keep my like whoever's in town and everybody like that. Nolan Vole. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. And your son's name, just for reference.
Leo Vole.
Leo Vole.
I think that was the name I gave him.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
I will go and ask if anybody's seen a child. Any characteristics that I could get?
short, brown hair. Uh, he's around 10 years old. A little taller than most of the kids that he spends time with. Um, green
That's taller?
eyes. Yes, he's about.
Uh,
He's only 10, but he's about 5'4".
oh, wow. Youthful sprout like that. I hope my kids one day will grow to be as big and wide, tall as that. They live up to any height of mine. Fritz is like 5'8".
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. I'm going to continue looking. I hope I find him. The
Course,
last
sir.
conversation we had was not. It wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't the happiest one. I brushed him off, though I don't know why.
You
He,
know,
he, he
some
sits there trying to remember. I don't know why.
sometimes we just make mistakes with our family, and that's okay. It's all right. I'm certain your son will be found, especially if you got me on it. Me and my customers are quite diligent. I keep track of everything that goes on around this little inn. So now that you've brought this to my attention with this little ledger here of mine, I will make certain of it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. He kind of like gives you a nod and very quickly
Yeah,
opens the door and runs outside. And
gotta take a deep breath. Fritz isn't really. He's always has his little facade of being this innkeep. So when he gets all deep like that, he's always, he feels bad. He's like, oh, I made so many jokes and all that. So he's like, oh, what a klutz. And I probably go to question my customers if they've seen, if there is anybody who's awake. I,
Yeah.
knock on their doors and ask.
Roll me a. Let's see. Roll me a investigation check.
Investigation with a -1. Ha! A 7.
7. You only have 2 people staying the night. One for a couple of days, and just one as they are passing through. Um, Neither of them know too much information, but both of them have seen children playing over by the woods on the far east side of town, near the glass blowing shop.
You said east? East?
East.
East by the woods, by the glass blowing shop. Well, I wonder who's there.
No idea.
The reason they specifically point out the glass blowing shop is because it's kind of an odd shop in this town. Most silverware and appliances and things of that sort are made of wood, and usually glass is more expensive and refined uh, tool. But because of the area it's in, it's not hard. Because of the area we are in, it's not hard to obtain out here. Um, you would kind of recognize that once people would find that out, maybe this place will be more popular due to Noble buying the land and setting up a thing to a trade to get more glass from here. But glass blower nonetheless. So it's kind of an odd shop around town.
Yeah.
And mostly just there for people to go and watch the the man who works there work.
Yeah. Well, with this information, I think Fritz, after he feels bad that he kind of like jested around with Nolan the way that he did, and he's not busy tonight. 2 people is really, I would say it's the minimum, but it's probably the average that he gets in his inn. Maybe even less. Most nights he gets 0 to 1 customer. So he's gonna, after his customers are rested and he apologizes for waking them and interrupting them, probably offers, he's like, oh, there's, I can brew a pot of tea downstairs if you'd like, go help yourselves. And after doing that, over a nice little, probably small little, like, iron stove pot that he's, rusty little thing that that he bought off somebody, after brewing some of that, he's gonna put on his coat, take his ledger, keep his apron on, of course, just in case. You never know. It could be a long walk. He could keep recounting over his ledger as he pleases. And I'd like to go over to the east by the glassblowers. Maybe remedy my anxious speak to Nolan. Fritz does truly feel bad. He's like, I feel I could have done better by a fellow townsfolk and speaking to him. And it is a kid, after all,
Wait, who's the kid?
I said Leo's a kid. He went missing.
Sorry, I
Sympathy.
heard you wrong. I thought you were talking about the dad. I was like,
Oh, no. Sorry, I guess my sentences are a little jumbled.
No,
there.
you're fine. I just I'm thinking
switching
about,
in and
like,
out of
10
character.
different things right now, so
Yeah,
you're all
I'm
good,
switching
bro.
in and out of character with Fritz. I do want him to be a little awkward, so I'm kind of I'm having a hard time slipping in and out of the awkward vocal stuff with him. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. No, don't even worry. Edward, you are sitting in your library reading. What would you be reading?
I would be reading.
Also,
I would
really
probably
quick.
be reading
Oh,
something like
no.
almost a history of travel of a man and just exploring the realm. and just the things that he found.
You're reading this book. It's titled The Lost Man. You're about 30 pages in. And so far it's kind of just the introduction, really. Talking of, what it's like traveling and how he got into traveling. And you're flipping through these pages. And would you say you're a fast reader?
Oh yeah.
You're flipping through these pages pretty quickly. It's not a hard book to read. Um, and you go, and as you are flipping through, make me a perception check
Okay.
with a -1,
So -1.
as all of your
That
stats are 8.
that will be a 13.
13. With a 13, you're flipping through these pages, and you notice the text on the page has gone from black, which is the standard printing. Um, there's a sect of artificers that focus on providing books to those um, that can't really wouldn't be able to pay for one that's handwritten. So they use magic ink. And magic ink does not wear. It stays consistent. It's getting grayer. And you look back and it has been for the past 10 pages, though subtly. It's just that it's gone to a point where the color is different. As you flip
Strange.
through, do you continue reading or what do you do?
I I will probably continue to. I would try to examine the book to see if there's anything wrong with the pages, or think of anything that I would know could change the coloring of the words and the why they're turning gray. That would kind of preoccupy my mind.
You look at these pages and there's nothing wrong with them. You don't know much about magic, but you do know about writing technique. And that is kind of crossed over into the magic of uh, printing. And you look, and there's nothing that should be wrong here. There's no leakage that could be happening. There's no um, paper seems perfect, almost as if this book is brand new, which it's not, because when you inherited the role of librarian in this town, uh, this book was there, and you just now picked it up. Maybe not for the first time, but you definitely haven't read through the whole thing.
Hmm.
Looking at, give me 1 second. My roommate just walked in.
You're good. Strange. I can place why these letters are turning gray. Oh,
while he's gone, I have some drawings. I was drawing out some of the scenes. I'm gonna throw them in the fallen chat there if you guys want to see it.
mhm.
I'm working on some other stuff as well. I'm just drawing out some of the scenes as they go, low key.
It's actually very tough.
Gosh.
My laptop is dead, but I was gonna be typing up what was happening while it was happening.
I'm
My
I'm
laptop.
trying my I'm trying my best to note take. I have a bunch of sticky notes in front of me.
Yeah, I'm taking notes too.
Oh my gosh, Anthony!
Yo.
We need to stop being twins, bro.
Yeah. Trey, I was on call with Trey right before this, and he was like, "Yeah, Zeke kind of like came up with a character that's almost exactly like yours." I was like, "Ha, that's funny." I was like, "This, bro, we do it every time."
Every single time.
But
Dude,
there's Fritz.
messaged me that, and I cried, bro. I was like, no, dude, come on.
I'm sorry, bro.
No, you're good, man. You just beat me to the punch, I guess.
By the way, I think there are a couple of people walking in and out right now. But we should be good. Where was I? Oh yeah,
They're cool.
are we good to go? If you want to keep talking about the art, this is sick, by the way. I love this.
Yep, I drew
I
the
just had to
children
say.
that he was watching on the porch, and Fritz himself.
Um, as you're flipping through these pages, the ink begins to get duller and duller until it's gone, and you're flipping for almost 20 pages until it's just blank and blank and blank and blank. And you know this is a completed book because you've skimmed through it before. It almost as you get to the point of confusion and anger of what happened to my book. You flip to page 142. And on that page, in big, bold letters, it says, "What happens to a world when there's no use for love?"
What?
You continue flipping for another 20 pages, and you get to the next page with lettering on it. There's no hope, only loneliness. You keep flipping, and you get to the point where there are more pages in this book than there were before, and almost all of them are blank. After another 50 pages, you've reached the end, and in small letters in the bottom right, it says the Queen amounts to nothing. As you flip to check the back end of that page, you see on the back, the final page, is the conclusion of the book that you've been reading. In confusion, you flip back to the other pages, but they're gone. It's just the book. There's no mention of love. There's no mention of loneliness. There's no mention of a queen. What there's mention of is travel, and monsters. This larger than life narrative that this writer is spinning. And while this book is posed as real, as these are the actual adventures, you get this overwhelming sense that this isn't anything. This is just mush to read and to feel good. And that's it. There's no source, there's no story, there's no narrative, there's no point. This isn't reality. It's just nothing. What do you do?
Slam the book shut and kind of toss it to the table. Where the desk nightstand that I would be near, and just sit and kind of slump over, and kind of just kind of blink away the pain from my eyes. Like I realize that confusion and it's exhilaration of this weird interaction with this book that my eyes have begun to hurt. And probably wasn't blinking enough, and I sit there rubbing my hands over my face and massaging my eyes, and repeating myself over and over again. It's not happy. It's just gone. Like, am I okay? I don't know what's going on. I just keep talking to myself as I just try and wrap my head around what's going on and the weird feelings today and everything and the boy and his song and talking about the queen and then thinking now is that connected at all and what's going on and that boy was quite strange, wasn't he? Oh, that, that song made me feel quite wrong, but this was a different feeling. But is it the same? And I just kind of get just lost in this train of thought as everything that happens falls onto me, and I don't quite know how to handle it.
Looking around your room, feeling lost, feeling fear. One thing rings true in your head, among all other things. Something has to be real. You can't let yourself end up like the writer in this book. You have to live. And there's a difference between living and surviving. What you're doing now isn't bad. You enjoy the work you have. But there's a world. And you're doing nothing but sit at a table and reading a book instead of writing your own. Feeling this sense of confusion and not being able to understand, and it just overwhelms you. And you look down into your hand. You haven't moved. You haven't grabbed anything. But in your hand sits a small token. And on it is a symbol of a drink. And on the other side is the symbol of a boar's head. The same boar's head that sits outside the local tavern. You're being called somewhere. Something's happening. You're on the grasp of reality after living in a fiction that you yourself have made for yourself. What's going to happen next?
I I'm going to grab my jacket that would be sitting on the bed, the chair that I would be sitting on, and I'd stand up and while kind of staring straight into this token that has just appeared in my hand, the realization of reality setting in, I'm going to quickly, almost like for the first time in my life, I have purpose in what I do. I'm going to throw my jacket on and grab my notebook and my quill and shove it into a little bag I have with me and sling it over my shoulder and rush out the door towards the tavern and in seeking of what I hoped beyond hope is true, and that there may be something true and real that will bring me life if I just go and find it. And in that, hope go forward as quickly with as much purpose as I ever have.
You rush through your door, truth on your mind. And as you're thinking on things that are true, these desires that you have, you remember the lyric of a song. This boy was singing earlier. The queen is lonely. And you close your door. And you run to the tavern. Elaine! Tonight,
Yes.
you've had these thoughts. You've been pondering. There's a lot going on. These kids that were out there, this image in your mind of you want something true to ring through your life. You want more. You want to gain. You want to benefit. You want to understand. And glass blowing is a good job. It's something that you've worked for. It's your trade. But it's not your purpose. You're sitting on. Oh, you're sitting outside your house, looking out at the night sky. Someone comes walking up to you.
All right. Is my house shared with the where I work?
Do you want it to be? You can have it be connected. You can have it be close. You don't have to.
I think it will be connected.
It's connected. You probably just finished up cleaning everything down and putting things away for the night.
Mm-hmm.
As a small boy walks up to you.
I look
Hello,
at him.
mister.
Hello.
You make the glass, don't you?
I do.
Wonderful glass. I think it's a great craft you have here. You enjoy what you're doing.
As much as I can.
What do you mean?
How old does this kid look?
This kid doesn't look much older than 7.
I don't know that you would understand it if I told you.
Well, even if I don't understand it, maybe if you said it out loud, you would understand yourself.
There's something more out there for me. Greater than just glass blowing all my days. As much as it is amazing to create something beautiful out of flames and glass, I have a purpose that I'm supposed to seize. I just have a feeling.
Desire
I haven't
is a
been able to
scary
reach
thing.
it.
Desire is a scary thing, is it not?
It's terrifying.
You seek all that you don't have, and when you don't have it, you lose your mind in seeking.
Who are you?
You don't know me? I come by your shop probably once a month. Uh, I do enjoy watching you work. It's magical, almost. There's a craft to it. I don't think I could do it myself, but it is beautiful. Maybe
Thank you.
there's beauty in not having a purpose. Maybe there's beauty in not knowing where you're going, or if there's even a road to follow.
Maybe for you, but I know there is a purpose for me out there.
Have you ever been given something and you not know how to use it?
Yes.
Purpose is dangerous when purpose is a tool you don't know how to use. If you're given a sword and you've never once picked it up before, would you not run the risk of cutting yourself?
You would need a hand to guide you. Just as learning to glass blow, if I had picked it up by myself, I would have surely burned myself. But with a guiding hand, I learned to put on the clothes that you see as you come by the shop.
Guiding hand only holds as much purpose as a listening ear and a learning mind. Well, it seems that you've reached a point. You have the mind to learn. I would hope you would have the ear to listen. Now all that's remaining is a hand to teach and guide.
Did you know something of a hand?
Me? No, I'm only a kid.
Hmm.
But
You
kids know
seemed
things. I seem
you
wrong.
seem very wise for a child of no more than 7.
Well, just because a child is 7 doesn't mean a child doesn't have an ear to listen, a mind to learn, and I just so happen to have a hand to teach. Or I had. Remember when I brought up presents, a gift that you don't know how to use?
Yes.
And he reaches down to the ground, and you notice around him purple flowers have bloomed in the mud. And one bloomed in such a brilliant manner that it outshines all the rest, making the rest look like garbage below it. It's taller, more vibrant, prettier. Its petals are more attractive. There's more petals itself. Its stem is greener. It looks alive. The boy picks the flower. Gift. It's dangerous if you don't know how to use it. While I don't know you, I do believe in wonderful things. I hope you learn to believe in wonderful things as well. But more importantly, I hope you learn. And he hands you the flower. Will you take it?
Yeah, So I'm watching very intently as the flowers grow and everything, and I'm almost thinking to myself, this flower almost represents me, and I will take the flower from him.
I'm not a hand to guide, though my friends have once called me a foot to push or to kick. I hope to see you find yourself, seek your reality, make what's real for you, and bend it and mold it, just as you do with your glass. I would say see you soon, but probably won't be needed. Have a nice day, mister.
You as well.
The boy walks away. He turns not back into the town, but to the forest. And as he turns, he starts singing a song. This song is about a queen or reality. He says, "Oh, how the Boro Grove tolls." It weeps and sways in wind that it cannot catch in its branches. Oh, how the Boro Grove tolls. To cry, but to have life, but there is none left. Not anymore. What is life without love? If there is love, there is no loneliness. One cannot be lonely anymore, standing next to the Boro Grove. And he disappears beyond the tree line. In your hand, with the flower, is a coin. One side is a drink, and the other is a boar's head. Foot. The shove. What will you do?
Um, I'd probably consider all this for uh, a little while, and then is it nighttime?
It's about 7 o'clock. It's dark,
Okay.
but not dark enough that you can't see on the streets. And even if it was like later, this town does have an apprentice artificer looking over it. So there are lights in the streets, though these aren't grand like anything you would see in the city. Not that you would know what those look like.
Mhm. Um, I would go inside and I would put together a pack to travel with.
All right, you gather your belongings, whatever you need to travel. You've had this pack prepared for a while. It's sat on your table for who knows how long. And now you're ready. You have a mind. You have a mind to learn. You have ears to hear. You have a heart to pursue. Now it's time to find the hand to guide. You grab your pack. Before you take a step out your door, is there anything else that you wish to do before you pursue your fate?
I would like to bring a glass that I made earlier in the day with me.
Puzzle is complete. This glass that you spent many hours working into the shape that it's in now, and then even more so, painting on these stories. Each story, while all fake, represents something of you. Being in search of grand adventure, a prince who wants to make everything his. A dragon who has fled the nest and started its journey. Glass blowing is a good profession, but it's not your fate. You walk out your door. You head towards the tavern. I say we're gonna take a break here. I just need to go get some water really quick. We also only have about 30 minutes left before it hits 1 o'clock. If everything goes properly, I hope it does. I would like to. We should be able to finish on time, or relatively. I just need some water really quick. My throat hurts. I've been screaming all night.
Yeah.
We're back.
Goodbye.
Cool, man. This is good so far. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Like level 0. I've seen like campaign ideas like this before. I've had the idea to do it. Mine, I think my idea was different, but yeah, this is cool. This is awesome. Dope.
Yeah. Never had an experience with that before.
I had one experience playing as level 0, 8 across the board for a stat character, and it was because I made Donald Trump into a character. And he just had an insane amount of birds that he threw at every problem. This is a lot so it's different.
I honestly, it helped that Trey was like, "Yeah, everybody has to be humans," because that was like my third option, anyways. For like, I had like 3 options for what I was thinking of playing for my character's species, and I was like, I mean, human would be good because I low-key want the feet, but
Yeah.
that's always the best reason to choose human.
Yeah. It was like, oh,
Wow.
sick. I don't have to shuffle through every single species that I have in a book.
Yeah.
I can just be human.
Trey told me about how classes are probably going to be done. And I just told him like, "Yo, that's awesome. Just pick for me. I'll play anything." So I can't wait to see what I might get because I honestly have no clue what I could do with this character. But I'm enjoying this kind of character. I haven't played an older character like this in a while. The first time I played an older character was like one of my first ever campaigns. I usually play like young adults. So this guy, I mean, he's like, I think old, early 30s, but it's still like more mature than the type of character I usually run.
Yeah,
And
like what I'm playing. My guy's only 20 years old.
Yeah. What I also think is funny is I feel like so far both of your characters have like a drive to like go and leave. My character's like, oh man, I love my business. Oh, I can't wait to
you're like
have a
Bilbo.
prosperous business. I can't wait to have a prosperous business. This is gonna be great. I don't need to go anywhere. I don't plan on leaving. And I wonder I wonder what's gonna happen to take me away from it all. At least that's my assumption.
Yeah.
That's my theories.
You're the Bilbo of the group.
Yep.
Alright, are we ready? Sorry about that.
Yes,
I just
sir.
needed to get some water. Basically to break it down, because I know it's been a lot of just me talking at you guys and not really playing. I've tried to add some role play in there, for at least a couple of you, Anthony. I guess I did give you. Did I not? Yeah, I think I've given a little bit. So I apologize. This is
No,
kind
you're
of
good.
just.
In my second scene, I got it. In my second
This is
scene,
kind
I
of
got
just
it.
me, lore dumping right now. And
Mhm.
suspense building.
It's
So
gas,
yeah,
bro. I love it.
we can continue. As long as the three of you are ready, if you guys want to get water or anything.
Oh no, I'm good.
I'm great.
All set.
All right. The three of you arrive at the tavern at the same time. Whether you three know each other well or a little, or however you desire, you are welcome to discuss that after the session. It won't really matter too much now, or you can discuss it in a minute. The three of you arrive at the tavern, and the lights are on, and there's a loud discussion going on inside as all three of you enter, each for a similar, different reason. Inside, almost half the town is here. You can see the mayor. You can see, obviously, the barkeep and his wife. You can see the baker. You can see anyone is here. And realistically, everyone is no one because they are here. But tonight, this gathering feels more important than any you've ever been to in this town. Women are crying. Men are crying. Confusion is abound. The mayor stands on top of a table, not barking at people, but trying to calm everyone down. Though, if you look in his eyes, you can see anger and resentment build. Multiple children are missing. They went out today, and they have not returned. There is no evidence. There is no tracks. There is no anything. No one has seen them. No one has heard them. No one has anything to do with them. Except for the three of you. They're all describing these children, and each one of you recognizes at least one. From the kids singing and dancing to Leo. However, Blaine, that child you talked to, is not one mentioned. But you do know of the children that were singing that wandered into the forest. They are mentioned. You didn't get good descriptions of them when you looked at them because they were far away. But in your heart, that is who is missing. The three of you put together the pieces that a group of 6 children are gone. And this town now has to bear the burden finding them. The mayor steps up as he is tired of this bunch of nothing happening. Listen, everyone, please. We can set up a search party. We can set up people, go out and look around. We can break up into groups. If all of us help and work together here, we will find them. I have no doubt in my mind. The baker steps up. Please, I just need my son back. And I know everyone else here needs their children too. Help us. I beg of you. Just as I. Then he gets caught on his breath. I am going to help everyone else. I need to find my son. but I also need to find theirs. Their sons and daughters hold just as much value to them as mine does to me. Please, help us. This rallying cry sets off a chain reaction of people grabbing one another and going, yes, let's go out, let's look, let's help. And slowly people start funneling out until it is just you, the mayor, the mayor's wife, and a select few other people. What do the three of you do? You kind of all are kind of pushed off to the side as when you walked in, people started walking out to go look for things. I leave you the floor.
So, the glass blower, that being Glane, I heard word that there was a child east by his shop, so I would like to approach him.
Do as you may.
Glane, I walk up to you. Excuse me, young man. It's Eberhard, Fritz Eberhard, Mr. Eberhard, innkeeper of the Yellow Peonies Inn. In the midst of this rising missing children event, I heard that there were a child missing east of your shop, towards the forest, you see. Have you seen any children out that way, good sir?
As a matter of fact, I have. I believe the 6 children exited town and into the forest nearby a shop. I witnessed
Great.
them leave there.
This is great news. Now we have a direction that the children are in. I'll go inform the men immediately. Thank you, sir. I
Sure.
notice you have a pack there yourself. Looks like you're already gearing up and getting ready to go, huh?
I am, but for different reasons.
Don't mind me. Just the innkeep trying to get all the information he can. But I'm no tavern keep. I don't carry rumors. Sorry, son. As I exit my conversation, I'd like to approach the mayor if that's okay.
Yeah, really quick. Gotta remember. Sorry, names are my horseshoe. So, Edward, what are you doing?
What's Anthony's character's name again?
My name is Fritz Eberhard. Fritz.
Right. Okay. I'm going to kind of, as I see him walk away from our glassmaker here, I'm gonna run up to him and talk to him. I know he seems like he has an idea of what's going on, and like, Fritz, who's missing? What children have gone missing? He said the baker's son. I spoke to him earlier this morning. He was acting quite strange.
Well, the baker just had approached me just a few minutes ago by inn and had asked if I had seen his child anywhere. Now, I hadn't seen his child earlier today, but I had seen 3 children playing with this ball in the streets. I only fear that those 3 children may be a part of this. I had only thought 1 child was missing. Upon arriving to this tavern, I find that now it's 6 children missing. I mean, what a hubbub, my friend. Huh. I'm not the type to step out of my inn and act often, but it is children. I mean, this is quite a touching matter. Missing children in our humble town? Huh. Good Sir Edward, is it? Right. What do you know of this?
My friend, you mentioned a little ball.
Yes, yes, I did.
Remember what it was made of?
It was made of reed, was it? Yes. Or was it twine? No, it was reed. It was reed. I'm certain of it. I kind of like adjust my monocle. This is when, I'm a very proper man.
Yeah, I think Edmund. No, sorry. I think Leo had one of them himself. He mentioned that his phone had disappeared at the plane, but he didn't
Disappeared well.
really.
I was just about to report this to the mayor. My information that I know, we could serve you. They were playing. You know what? To mention another detail, just in case if this rings anything for you, they were singing a song. It was quite the catchy tune, I must say, but not one familiar to our humble town here. I had not, I've since I had grown up here, I've heard many a tunes, and in the schools, I know about all the schoolyard songs that we have. I myself should know them all as well. This tune about a queen, longing, and it was cold, and it was catchy, but it,
You do mention it, yes. I did hear the boys singing, the Baker family was singing a very similar song. It's not the same one.
hmm.
And to be honest, I had my own distraction with thinking about that's the person at the time focuses on the children, but it, that song is a very dreadful song. I do worry for
I,
these children. We
I
should
mean,
play.
I had thought the song melodic, a little cold, certainly, but it was a catchy tune. Now that we're putting this pin on it, I'd certainly call it dreadful. Sorry, sir, I didn't interrupt you.
No, it's quite all right. I'm a bit
I have a
shaken.
lot on my mind.
Uh,
Wait, just a moment. I actually turn kind of back to Glane. I imagine I didn't get much far from him.
Yeah.
Sir Glane, um, you said you saw children head off their way to the forest. Had you seen anything about a reed ball and a song singing? About a queen? A cold tune?
I don't recall anything about a ball, but they were singing the song about the queen.
Well, that's 3 accounts, my friend. That, and when it's 1, it could be anything. When it's 2, it could be a coincidence. 3, by golly! As I pull out my ledger and I begin scribbling down my notes in the end of it. Sorry, I must do some note taking just in case this becomes important. I will be useful this time about. Hmm.
I will pull out the same and uh, pull out this notebook that I brought with me and flip to the most recent page and start writing down the events of today, the missing children, the song, the lyrics as best as I can remember them, and the disappearance thereof, and the search party that we're currently, and the searching that is currently taking place.
Yeah, and once I finish writing, just a quick scribble, I kind of like place my hand on both of yours shoulders, and I go, well, gentlemen, we seem to have some concerning information. We best bring this to the mayor. I believe that'd be in our best interest. He can get information around the fastest, and maybe she hangs around this tavern. Alia, she also might help spread this information.
As
Hmm.
as you
Go ahead.
take a moment before anyone else talks, your hands are touching the other two members. All three of you feel as if your souls themselves recognize each other.
Ooh.
There's a feeling of mutualness, of camaraderie, of similarity. And it fades as the next conversation begins.
Yeah, I I kind of just adjust to the feeling. I don't mention it. And I turn my attention, and I of course usher the gentleman to come along with me towards the mayor first. I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I follow along without much hassle and finish, and I slide my quill into the page and put it shut and close it into my satchel and start walking a little bit more briskly towards the governor or the mayor.
Governor.
I follow, but keep a pace between me and the other two.
Gentlemen, you three, are you helping with the search?
Well, of course, sir, and I do believe we have some relevant information. Me and Edward here were just keeping note. Have a look, and I hand him over my ledger with my notes on everything that we've gathered. A common demeanor between the reed ball, the song, the children heading towards the forest, towards the east, and sightings from them uttered by Glane.
Interesting. Interesting. Now, this is a predicament. This is something unforeseen, something wonderful, in the most dire and gruesome of manners. What happened? What's going on? I assume that you're going off to that direction. I have
I
things
didn't put
here
my
that,
coat on for nothing.
yes, I have things here, so I myself can't go out. But um, wish you the best of luck. I'll alert people as they come back here. We've kind of set this area up as home base for the search parties. So, uh, I I do hope that you're able to find them. And if not you, then someone else.
I believe if anyone were to find them, it would be us.
You seem so sure of yourself. It's a good quality for someone, especially good mindset to have when entering into this troubling time. Well, is it
And
just the three of you going?
Um, well, aside from the search party, this should be our little posse here. Should be just us three, I believe. I did want to speak to Alia. Have you seen her anywhere?
He already left, actually.
I was
Earlier
gonna
on when went
spread.
out.
I was gonna spread this information to her. You know, she's got quite the mouth. Spread information all around. Well, I'll leave it to
Yes,
you then. Spread the word of what we found here.
yes, will do. I will let everyone know. Well, if it's just the three of you. And as he says that, a voice chimes from the corner in the back. I'll go too. And you all turn, and there's a man sitting in this corner. Not one that you're all familiar with, but one that you've seen before. Give me one moment. I just totally lost it. I just totally lost my
Yeah.
spot. Um, I'll go with them. Oh, what you see is a man by the name of Chris Lysander. He's the groundskeeper, or more specifically, the apprentice groundskeeper of the town's graveyard. He worked with the groundskeeper before, but he has gotten too old. Uh, and now the apprentice has become the master, or is working to become the master. He kind of steps up and walks towards you. He's wearing darker work clothes. It looks like he just finished his shift as he's kind of covered in mud. He's wearing coveralls, and the mud wraps around him, almost as if he was digging a grave. He'll join their party and follow them. Uh, I figured they might need my help, or just help in general. May I come with?
Of course.
I see it if we have my 2 eyes, his 2 eyes, his 2 eyes, and additional your 2 eyes, we'd have a better chance than just us three. And I like that word you used, party. That makes us sound like a right rhyme fairy tale, my friend.
Yeah, it's something my the man who taught me spoke of a lot. People he used to work with. Um, yeah, I hope I can be useful. You don't like to see kids missing.
Oh no, dreadful thing, dreadful thing. Sorry, I don't mean to act so um, happy at the moment. I'm just my personality is all.
It's fun.
It's
As Chris Lysander joins your party, you all walk out and you walk east. And just for time's sake, we'll kind of get to where you are all in the area.
Um, as we
Yeah.
as we approach the area, um, I'm gonna think back to my interaction with Leo and remember his comment on the steps um to the woods and the distance traveled, and I would almost start running ahead, and I would imagine I, out of boredom at some point, would have known the rough distances of the area and would rush to see if at this point all we have to go on is the boys have disappeared into the woods. But if something is strange here and mystical as it's starting to seem, I would try and see if the there's any validity to that, if the
Roll
woods are.
me roll me a nature or a history check.
Um. Okay.
Also, Blaine, have you rolled me anything yet?
Okay.
Blaine.
17.
Sorry, I accidentally muted my mic.
No, you're good. Have you rolled anything yet?
Uh,
Have you gotten the opportunity to?
no, I did want to say I would probably mention when we get to the edge of the forest. I'd probably ask them about the Boro Grove tree if they know anything about that.
Before we get to that, let me just call you Fritz. Edward, what'd you get?
17.
17. Nature or history?
History.
History. From what you counted this morning and what you're counting now, there's at least 2 feet less of measuring distance, which is more than even the boy Leo said before.
Okay. I would probably in kind of just shock, just take a step back and exclaim something along the lines of like the boy was right. Um, and kind of whip out my quill and book again and write down the observation and turn around and I don't know how close they are to me. Um,
Probably a bit ahead
but
because you ran. You said you ran forward.
I would probably run back, almost shouting, "The boy was right. The boy was right."
right about what, lad?
This morning, Leo, and he was talking to me. He asked me about the trees and the distance, and he was right the entire time. He was right. It's completely correct. You have to see here. Look, look, look. And I'll try to show him my book, but I'm kind of pointing too much and turning my body to actually show him. But it's like, look there, the boy was right. The trees, they're close. than they were before. There should be two. There's two. The boy is right. You don't understand.
Oh, I don't seem to understand. I don't frequent the trees. They're closer than usual. I'm not certain.
Fritz, Fritz, listen. Okay, okay. And he'll like take a second. He'll like close his book and he'll just take a second to breathe and be like, okay, wait, listen. Okay, this morning, Leo, when he came to me after I delivered books to the library, to the school, he came to me. He asked me about the trees. He said that they were closer. That he counted the distance from the trees to his door at the bakery in case he had to go fight the monsters. I didn't think of it much of that, and just a boy's superstitions, counting to the wrong tree, maybe. But I've done that myself now. We've lost about 2 feet of our field. The entire forest has gotten almost 2 feet closer in this area, and we should have about 2 more feet here, and it's gone. The boy was right. The trees are getting closer to the town.
I feel like
Interesting.
I feel like Fritz would be a little confused. Is there anything that I could roll, or and if it's up to me, um, to see if like I understand or even believe what he's saying?
You first you're inclined not to believe.
Yeah.
But the more he talks about it, the more that these wild occurrences that have been popping up around and are happening, it doesn't feel out of the blue. Like this doesn't seem like something that's wrong. And there's a passion in his voice that he speaks as if something has been confirmed for him that he didn't even realize would be possible to be confirmed.
Now,
I,
in a normal circumstance, I would have thought you crazy, but
I'm curious if this has something to do with the Borogrove tree.
He says that each one of you, you've been waiting your entire lives. Some of you for adventure, some of you for knowledge, some of you for peace. It's almost as if the key to the door that leads to the rest of your life has just been used. And the door is open. Upon hearing the Borogrove tree, the story of it floods your brain. The portal to another world. How we don't know if it's dangerous. How it's dead, but there's so much life that comes through it. You've never seen the Borogrove tree before, but you can feel it. It's in these woods. And there's too much life coming from it for it to be ignored any longer. That's what you all feel.
I, for one, as this feeling rushes through me, as if I found the answer to all my alms, um, I look back at my inn in the distance. I kind of have this like resolute. Maybe in the moment, Fritz doesn't understand that it might be a goodbye, but an acknowledgement that the tea is still on the stovetop, but I am brewing. Can't pass up an opportunity like this one. Never thought a day in my life I would. He kind of like mutters to himself, and it seems like he's racking his head around accepting that he has to find this thing. Never a day in his life would he ever thought that a mundane man like him and a man who just successful business and a legacy to follow him, something simple and quaint, would have such a lofty pull. He's not going to reject it, even if in this moment he's questioning it.
You all begin walking deep into this forest. It feels as if you've been walking for hours, but it also feels like you've been walking for mere moments. As you break through a tree line, and you see in front of you a large, rotting stump, dead for a long time. But through its death, it bore life. You see animals skittering around it, bugs building homes in the moss and grass at its base. You see mold and all sorts of things creeping and crawling throughout its bark and its wood. You've laid your eyes on the Boro Grove tree for the first time. And in its marvel, you almost miss, lying on the ground next to it, a small ball made entirely out of reeds from the river nearby. What do you all do?
Boro Grove tree.
Looks like we all just innocuously walked in this direction together. And it looks like we found what we were looking for, didn't we?
I had a feeling this was here. I don't know about you, but I was called here, almost.
No. I felt it too. I had a hard time accepting it, but I feel this is our responsibility now. It'd be wrong as adults in this town to say no to it. Or rather, less than adults, more so men with lives ahead of ourselves, eh?
This isn't just responsibility. This is destiny. You were always meant to come here. This is the first step into our new lives.
Destiny.
When you say that, I get these tingles in my chest. Wow.
Chris?
Is that Chris? Sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
I would be like calling out to be like and pointing towards the boys ball of reeds there. Like we know that and pointing to it's like it's the ball of reeds. No one it appears this feeling is guiding us to these children. I hope below the heavens above, I hope that they're
Yes, beyond our potential destiny, there are children missing. I hope that this isn't some fate for them to be lost. They have parents and lives ahead of them, so why don't we play heroes for a little bit, eh? Let's go search for some children. And he kind of like gets lost for words, as if this is almost like too much for him to accept. He's definitely it's like a weird level of excitement that Fritz is getting in the moment here. Like, oh, this is really happening right now. Gosh.
I'm happy as long as we're making movement forward.
Movement forward. That is a good word for it, isn't it? We found it. This is everything I've been looking for. We've been looking for. It's here. What's below? As he reaches out, Chris, and touches the Boro Grove tree. As in that moment, the tree opens. Not in a portal. Not in some sort of teleportation. It's simply a drop.
Damn.
As Chris
It really
falls in,
worked. Look, it really opened. It did something.
and Chris, before your eyes, disappears into the tree. But before you have time to recognize what's happening or to move out, you realize all of you are standing on the roots of the tree, which have grown out. And what you thought before was dead, you realize this tree is not dead. These roots are connected. They burrow and break through the ground as they are massive and large. As you follow the roots out, every tree in this area is connected to the Boro Grove. And the roots open, and all of you fall in. It seems hours of falling. And I'm gonna roll a d6 here.
Are we ever gonna stop falling? Ah!
I can't find my d6. This is awkward. Wait, no, I know where it is. There we go. Let's use d6.
Will this falling never end?
I'm getting some form of vertigo.
Edward, you're falling. And in moments you hit the ground. But you don't hit the ground hard.
Ah.
You land and you're standing at the foot of a tower. Because right next to you is the body of what seems to be a prince. This prince, unlike in the stories, did not survive the fall. You are the lucky one here. You take on this role. You have this power. You have this ability. You're standing there looking at this prince as his body moves and gets up. And before you, a broken and beaten human stands. This prince is not another person, but you. You in death stares into your eyes. And it looks at you and says, you have the power. You have the knowledge. You are the teller of stories. You are the one who keeps the memory. You are the one who bends the soul. You are dead. So who will you become? As you feel your body ripping and tearing and morphing. In Wonderland, nothing that comes in can stay how it is unless outside means prevent it from happening. There are no outside means for you. In a sense, physically, how does Wonderland change you? This is me giving you a moment to pick your race.
Oh, I have to pick a different race now. Okay.
Or if you want to stay human, I can work in it. your body is morphing.
I would
The dead
say,
version of you looks at yourself in confusion and goes, "Do you hold on to the old that dastardly? If you desire to stay human, you may."
I will. Hmm, I will. I will. I will stay human.
To grasp onto one's past is a dangerous act. Those who do not know you will see your visage and know that you are different from them. You have no stopper nor blocker from the gaze of those who live in the future. But you keep a part of yourself. It's time to realize who you are. As the prince yourself reaches towards your hand and grabs your wrist. And for a moment, you feel a burning sear into your arm. As the pen you are holding and the book begin to glow, you take the power of the soul. Will you bend it to your will? Will you share in the knowledge and power that those before have held?
I
Will
will.
you carry on the power of the wizard?
I will.
With that, he lets go of your hand. There are no marks on your arm, and your pen looks no different. But you can feel it. There's no physical change to your pen like there was to your body, or there was tried to your body. But your pen is special. This quill that you hold in your hand, which once before wrote books and wrote tales and wrote history and fact, now has the ability to bend fact. You can alter the soul, the power that those more influential than you have wielded over your head before. You no longer write history. You write the world itself. Magic flows through you, and everything you output and write is magical in nature. Finally, the last boon I grant you. Names are a powerful thing. You control people by their names. You have your true name, and that will not change no matter how much someone tries to rewrite your soul. But you cannot let others know of it. The three that do currently, while they hold power over you, you hold power over them. Do not let anyone, and I mean anyone, figure out what your true name is. So what shall be your title? Your mask? Your shield?
Assuming I gotta give a different name here. Okay. Uh, I am gonna go with. Arthur.
Arthur. Regal. A name of power. Much more than you realize you've granted yourself here. But it shall work. Go forth, Arthur, wizard of history. Take your quill and your paper and rewrite the fate that has beset yourself and those around you. The vision fades. Let me roll a die again. Fritz.
Oh boy.
You've been falling for a long time. But this fall is less that of uncontrolled and more is almost intentional. You glide through the air. And you find yourself standing in a grand throne room. And sitting upon a throne is a regal king. And he stares down at you. You've fallen into a realm you know nothing about. There's danger that lurks outside of these halls. He removes his head covering. When you are staring back at yourself. There are many forms of kings. I am only one path. You have a soul that sees limit and denies it. You break past the bounds that have been set for you by fate, and you push for your own goal. A simple life is one that you seek. But a simple life is not easy to achieve. And set yourself up in such an angry and dying world is to take fate like a dagger and use it to your own will. To carve out a path so that those who come after you, your children, their children, live well through the blood that you shed and the stories you tell. You keep track of every coin that passes through your doors. You hold firm in your values. You keep yourself safe by your own hand. Change is coming. This change will not set you back. As he says that, you feel your body contort and change. How does Wonderland see you?
I'm free to pick here.
You are free to pick.
Because I know I'm letting you pick the other option. But for this one, and luckily I wasn't picked. because I did do some research on what I think that Fritz would pick. Now the I will say the obvious option would be a half, but I'd like to pick a dragonborn, a species hell-bent on success and being viewed as a high being of sorts.
Your body changes and molds itself into hard scales. Your flesh is no more. Your armor is yourself. You've chosen a path of royalty. You truly are a king, ruler of yourself and your people, protector of those who are under your care. To be a protector, to reach that limit, one must stick their hand to a place not many desire to go. Swift on your feet and deadly in your strike. Take up the blade. Since this is where you've called to. There are many kings, some who seek to protect those through love, some who seek to protect those through power. You seek to protect those as you wish, as you desire. Pride is a double-edged blade. Make sure it's pointed at your enemies. Become the thief. Become the murderer. Become whatever it takes for you to carve out your slice of heaven. Reach fate. And embrace oneself as a rogue.
Oh yes, sir. You know it. Oh, I like this.
Names hold great power in Wonderland. There are 3 that know yours already. Do not let that number grow. Bend others to your will, just as you bend fate. What shall those who look upon your power in fear call you?
I realize I didn't answer the last question in character, but I'm going to remedy this with a new voice to match my new self. Fritz was a name of the past. That should be said so. I shall be known as Von Richter from now on.
Then Von Richter you shall be. Go and carve your way to your life. Lane Windbreeze. Name unknown, but sought after. You find yourself standing on a road that is crooked in nature. In front of you, a castle stands, tall and daunting. Inside, the weeping of a woman who knows no one and is loved by less. She feels your presence and turns to you. Have you come to take me home? To show me what I oh so deserve?
I believe I have.
Then you will be my knight. You will be the one to save me and set me free from the bonds that I have been caged to in this wicked place. I await your arrival. But before then, the boon. Your body begins to bend and change. How does Wonderland see you?
I think I actually picked a really good race for this. I'm going to turn into a Shadar Kai.
Ooh, that's an elite ball right there.
So I kind of
Body.
turn it much darker than I was before. Go
Your
ahead.
body bends. It contorts. What you once thought was fate that you were chasing has now manifested into darkness. As you look upon your reality, your purpose, your power. You've chosen well. I feel closer to you already. While I am
I nod in
chained,
respect.
while I am chained, I cannot greet you myself. But maybe you can carry a part of me with you. This place is cursed. It hurts those that love it. It is not my home, and it is not yours. It tried to turn you into its being, into a thing it knows, but you rejected it. You became its opposite of everything that belongs here. You are with me, and I am with you. Take my power and release me of the binds that hold me, so that we may leave this place together. Take up my pact. Belong to me, your queen, shining ever so brightly in the darkest night. I weep no longer. I am lonely no more. Become my warlock. Fight in my name. Deal the blow that I cannot on my own. For that is a sign of your love. So take upon mine and recognize your power through me.
I shall gladly accept it.
My dear Glenn, I have waited long for you to arrive. And though it was painful, the wait was far more than worth it. But there is still one more thing that you must do. Names have power. And while we are connected, you may never know mine. And though I know yours, Do not let others, outside of the three that you've entrusted it to, figure it out. We see how Wonderland sees you, an enemy, but not one that is outright aggressive. So now, how will Wonderland know you? What is your disguise? How will you blend in? How will you make your way to me?
I will make my way to you as Shinra the Bound.
And so it shall be, my beloved Shinra. You are no longer on the crooked road. You are no longer at the foot of the tower. You are no longer in the throne room. You stand in a field of mushrooms and magic. You have fallen into Wonderland. You land as yourself, but you rise as someone else. A new you. A you that can bend the fate in front of you. You are aware of your soul. The soul of wonder. And that is where we will end session 0.
Bro.
Tough.
Yo, I have to be so honest. That is the first time I've been so excited. And like, I couldn't even contain my character. I was so mad at myself when you asked me what class. And then I went, yes, bro. Yeah, no, bro. Dude, I was so excited about it. I couldn't even like keep my character. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I only realized when it got to the name. Like, dude. Bro.